So to answer the first question, how are you doing in your classes and how I'm feeling about them? I feel like I'm doing all right. I mean, the only classes I have right now is Fashion 105 and Fashion 175. It's kind of just fun. I feel like I'm necessarily doing work. Like obviously there's a lot more that I'm learning and I feel like I need to understand. But I mean, from a standpoint of feeling stress or anything like that, it's like there might be some times where doing the assignment the day of, but I still feel it's not too much necessarily. So the reason why I want to get into fashion design is because when I was younger, I just wanted to make my own things. I wanted to have my own things where I could say I made it. I saw a video of this like YouTube channel and they started their own merchandising, and from that I had this spark of wanting to start my own channel and all that. So I started working on making logos, trying to learn how to make videos, all that type of stuff. And from there, it kind of just spiraled into wanting to make clothing and all that. And with that, over the past few years, especially the last 3 to 4 years, I want to say, I just started trying to learn more about how to make a website, how to sell things, how to market. I'm not the best at these things, but I have spent hours, if not days, like learning about this type of stuff. And through that process, I started learning more about fashion and wanting to like make my own clothes. At first, it was more about merchandising, as in like looking for a manufacturer and just getting a logo put onto clothing. But then it turned into wanting to actually design clothes, make my own clothes. And because of that, like I just had this like spark of wanting to be more creative, more innovative in how fashion is seen. Not necessarily runway fashion, but just general clothing. I would say that I'm not a person to buy clothes that much, but I do want to have more clothes, but I want to do that in a way where I'm not just buying more clothes, if that makes sense. So if I could kind of use the clothes I have and like repurpose it or remake it into something that I actually would want to wear, that's kind of something that I think I would love to do related to fashion design, but also, making things from scratch as well, and teaching other people how to be more sustainable in how they wear or use their clothing and all that. So that's like the main reason why I want to get into fashion design. What am I thinking about doing after I complete a certification or degree, and why? I'm hoping by the time I'm done with like all the school stuff that I already have some structure of like an internship, or I'm already working on design, sewing, all that type of stuff. As well as like I have a somewhat successful online presence related to social media, working on games, songwriting slash singing, as well as designing. That's like the main thing with what I'm going to college for, is for design. I mean, I love design regardless of its fashion or if it's working on some digital type of thing, but that's why I'm doing this, is to better understand how to design from a digital perspective, but also from actually learning and working on clothes, whether that be through an internship or just from taking another class and just having more knowledge related to fashion. What classes am I thinking about doing next semester? I have a bunch of different classes I want to do next semester because I wanted to just go straight in and do like fashion construction. So I'm hoping to do that one, but if I feel like there's other classes I need to take, a few other ones that I'm thinking on doing are fashion development, fashion event planning and production, fashion buying slash management, and fashion marketing on the internet, as well as fashion e-commerce. Those are a few of the ones that I kind of looked over and were like, I'm interested in that. But also at the same time, I feel like I don't want to overdo doing classes when some of this stuff I feel like I could just do on my own. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but I think it's important to feel like whatever class I'm doing, it's actually a valuable asset of time that I'm spending. And I don't want to take a class where I feel like by taking the class I'm taking time away from the other classes I could potentially take related to what I'm trying to go towards. Where are you working, or what other interests do you have? Kind of talking about what I've already talked about. The working part, I have like a kind of part-time job as a assistant coach for OTI for roller hockey. Just this year, the coach that was there wanted to move on. So someone that I know works at the school and wanted to help out with the roller hockey team. So I was asked if I wanted to help out with that. And their first year, they got second place in their school district. And that was like the first time apparently they got second place. And like Eastlake was like the best out of the best. Like they just won every single game. But I really enjoy that because it's not ice hockey, but it's something that's dear to my heart. Hockey has always been something that I have enjoyed doing since I was like 7 years old. So it's always fun to try to learn myself how to be a little bit more social, as well as trying to teach others how to play the game, whether that be ice hockey, roller hockey, or anything that I feel like I have knowledge of. I want to share that knowledge and help others. That's really what I want to do in life. So if I could do me and help others while doing that, I feel like I succeeded in my job. Related to that, my interests are gaming, fashion, design, music, and just learning new things. That's like one of my biggest interests, is having a more broad perspective of things, not just trying to close myself on one aspect of things. I like understanding and learning why something is the way it is, or why someone might think the way they do. I think it's important that we all try to understand why people or why things are the way they are, and not just judge things for the way they are. Questions I might have about the fashion program, career steps, or internships. I mean, like, your story is very interesting. Like, not gonna lie, I feel like I kind of read it all, but I also have a limited understanding of what you do. I know that you have made hats for cancer patients, I'm pretty sure. And I think that is very cool. Like, for me, one of my biggest questions would be like, how like how did you get the hats? Like, was that like a manufacturing type of thing, or did you hand make them? I'm not exactly sure. I think you might have handmade them, that you said in your writing, but I don't want to like put words into your writing. But I think that's like very personal, where you are helping people out who needed help by giving them something they could hold on to physically, but also mentally, where they feel like they could be themselves again almost. I think that's very personal. Like, I want to be able to have that same impact, where I feel like I could help people regardless of what they're going through with what I am able to create, not just from a fashion standpoint, but from like all of it. So if I could do that, I feel like I've succeeded. Related to that, I have some, like, when it comes to fashion programs, I'm not exactly sure what that means. I'm guessing that kind of means internships in a way. But for me, it's like, I don't know what the next step is. So I'm kind of glad that I took a year before I wanted to go. But one of the main things I feel like I want to ask is, when it comes to an internship or doing a class, how do you know that you're better off just doing an internship related to wanting to learn how to sew and how to make stuff? Like, I don't want to just make clothes. I also want to make bags and stuff like that. So I don't know if I should go and do like apparel construction next semester, or if I should do an internship somewhere else. That's like kind of my biggest question, because like I don't, like, that I'm asking myself, but also potentially you, because I don't know what direction to go in necessarily from that standpoint. Obviously, I want to learn as much as I can, but like I said, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time doing something that I could have done on my own, in a sense of like, I could be learning how to make clothes and all that, and then also do this on the side rather than doing a whole class on it. But with that said, that's my question.